Yo,
Hello. Yeah.
I don't. Hey, they said the. I don't know, bro. I don't know if it was my account or if it's TikTok.
Mhm.
Something happened. Something happened during that last stream. I guess like the screen must have went black or something for people. I don't know what
Was
happened
it
to the
my
last
fault?
five.
Like,
I
was it
rebel.
my
I
fault?
don't know.
Oh.
And then after that one, I tried to go live like two times, and it like I don't know. It's like I was live, but it's like I wasn't live either. It wasn't showing that I was live. So I don't know what happened.
Right.
I wasn't even looking at. I wasn't even. I had briefly looked at the comments, and people were like, "Hey, we can't see anything." And then I looked at up there, and I was like, "There was nobody in here." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know what happened." But anyways,
That's
they'll
weird.
come back. Um, no. So you said that you met your child's father online, and
Mhm.
y'all conceived a child within 2 months. Were y'all
Mhm.
in a relationship with each other?
No, he was just like a what do you call it? Like a dopamine relationship, just a time filler for me.
Right.
And he knew, like, he had many girlfriends. Like, there was one girl who would like run up on us and like bang on the window while we would be like smoking in his car. So yeah, he had women. I just so happened to get pregnant, and I knew my son was a blessing because I'd never been pregnant before. So I said, I'm keeping this child.
Would you advise like other young women to like have their children in the same their kid in the same manner that you had yours?
No, 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 no. I no, because one, you want, of course, you definitely want to know the person's character. You want to really know their character, so take your time and please be married, or just be married. But two, there's so many economical factors and pandemics and food shortages and all of these anxiety triggers that are going to be placed on you as a parent. Like, no, no.
Did you know better and you just chose to not do better, or like did you not know better?
um See, I had lost, like, I knew better, let me say that. I knew better, but I had lost like two family members in 1 year, so I was grieving and I did not know what the grieving process looked like. So for me, it was escaping. It was escapism. So that's how I got caught up. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
So I was dating the escape? Was he the escape? Was sex was the escape? What was the escape exactly?
Sex was the escape. It was a momentary time filler. Um I would only see him every 2 weeks. Other than that, like, it was kind of like, like how men lose interest as soon as they ejaculate. So 2 weeks would go by, and then the feeling would come again, and it's like, oh, let me call him again. So it was like a selfish pursuit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. We actually got to a physical, like, fist fight, and I didn't even know I was like 4 weeks pregnant. But he was just being very passive aggressive. We were at a bar, and I had had like a lot of vodka, and I literally like put hands on him and didn't even know that I was pregnant. So we were just not a match.
How old are you if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 41.
Uh, and you got a 5-year-old?
Yes.
Hmm. So you weren't. So you. I mean, you wasn't. I mean, even if you were running the streets, like
Hmm.
in your early days, you were being somewhat responsible. I'm assuming that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I started late. Like, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19. Like, I started very late. And I was just always a social butterfly. So I always had male friends, male and female friends. So I was never like, some low self esteem person that had to like hump everything. It wasn't until like grief came around that I was like, I don't know, it just converted to sex, wasting time with sex and dating.
Are you dating right now?
No, not at all. Not at all.
When was the what year have you dated like seriously at all since you've had your son?
Um, no. No, I actually went more into depression, and now I'm actually like working on mental wellness. I have a life. I have a psychologist. Eating well, eating organically, meditating in the mornings, exercising, like taking my son on outings, like just getting rooted, and then I'm going to get on like Elite Singles or something and find a stepdad.
Oh my gosh. So I want to tell you some things that I believe. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm 26, by the way. I just turned 26. And I don't have any, and I'm childless. But I don't know. I like you said, you acknowledge that you knew better, but you just chose to not do better. And at 36, like you definitely knew better. But I personally believe that you know, like I said in the last live, like men see women that are divorcees and widows in a
Mm-hmm.
completely different light than a woman that just got a bunch of kids by a bunch of different men, or she
Mm.
knocked down by whoever. But I personally believe that when the women are not a divorcee or they're not a widow, I think that their children or their child need to be their number one priority until they're about to graduate high school, until they do graduate high school and
Yeah.
are in college. And then I think that they should start dating, because I
What?
believe I believe that because a lot of these women, for whatever reason, after they didn't had little peanut head Keenan and his sister, now they want to value family. Now they want to value relationships. Now they want to look for love. But before you had them kids, you didn't value any of those things, and you wasn't looking for love. All love to you was, and I'm not talking about you specifically, I'm just saying these women in general. All love to these women is opening their legs for a man, and a man piping them out. So now, don't try to use the time that you should be giving to your kids to like have a dating life. Now, that's what I personally believe.
How old are you, Noble?
I'm 26.
Oh Lord. Okay, so let me ask you this. Um, why do you think you said that the lady is she was wasting her time and just probably not using the best judgment, and that's how she wound up with the kids?
I mean, I wouldn't even say wasting time. I would just say being sexually irresponsible. Like, this is what I believe. There are I believe it's one thing to like make a mistake one time, but when you
Mm-hmm.
continuously do the same thing, you're
Right.
not making a mistake anymore. You are making a choice at that point. You are making a conscious decision. You can
Mm-hmm.
bump your head one time, but when you
Mm-hmm.
bump your head two, three, four, 5 times doing the same thing, you're not making a mistake anymore. You're making a conscious decision to do what you're doing. So, if to those women, no, don't be out here trying to look for love now. Take care,
Okay,
take
let
care
me
of your
ask you this.
kids. Love on
Let
your
me ask
kids.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If are you a virgin? Have you had sex before?
No, I'm not a virgin.
Okay, cool. Boom. So like let's just switch roles. Let's assume, right, that you could get pregnant, right?
Uh huh.
And let's think about every woman that you've ejaculated in, right? And let's assume that you can grow a baby in your dickhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it takes 9 months to grow that baby. Do you think that you've used your best judgment in the women that you've ejaculated in?
I haven't ejaculated any woman.
Pre cum?
I have not ejaculated in any woman, man.
Right, but I mean, you've had sex. You've taken the risk.
Yeah.
Right. So, do you
If
think that
you
you've used the best judgment?
if okay, look. So again, I haven't ejaculated anybody, but if what you're trying to ask, or if you what you would if what you want to ask me is, do you think that every woman that you like, slept with is a woman that you would want to be the mother of your child? Is that what you want to ask me, or what you're trying to ask me? Like, what?
Every woman at every club that you shot up, my boy, were they mother material? Were they wife material?
Okay, so that's what you're trying to ask me then. Okay,
Like, I'm not speaking Chinese. Like,
okay. So no, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that every woman that I've been with that like I was that if that like
Mm-hmm.
if something was to happen that I would be happy that this person would be the mother. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
I'm being honest. No.
And is it also true that sometimes people can present themselves when they meet people, they can present themselves in the best light, and then sometimes their true colors come out?
Yes, I believe in what this popular term that people like to use nowadays, this representative term. But um, I mean, like even a situation like yours, like
Mm-hmm.
a man that you met offline and conceiving a child with him in
Mm-hmm.
60 days, like
Mm-hmm.
there's no excuse for that. Ain't no representative, like ain't nothing. You weren't even in a relationship with the man, and that's what the case be for a lot of these women. They they don't be married to these men. They don't be in relationships with these men, and they don't even be knowing these men for real. They just be I don't know. They just enjoy the sex. I don't know. They just fast. I don't know what it is. Like there's
I
no
mean,
excuse.
I like your platform, because it's not totally giving like annoying, misogynistic, ill-educated person with a microphone. However, it's like some of y'all don't really think about the physiological factors that we have. Like, men can nut and walk away. We are the seed bearers. We will bear that. We hold the seeds. Our vaginas are memory cards, if you
Uh-huh.
will. Our bodies are made to remember an experience. You feel me? So
Right.
like, again, with physiological, like, we take the biggest risk.
Right.
We assume the biggest risk, which is why you brought up a good point. We need to make the best decision for our bodies. However, we have also been being pursued since we was 13 years old, 15 years old, right? And if we didn't have a dad to coach us, or a physical male figure there, to investing knowledge, coaching, giving us game, whatever you want to call it, then we're gonna, by default, we're gonna pick what's familiar at 13 years old. She said 6 years old. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and let me just say this. I have a friend. She's an excellent mom. She has 5 children, right?
Mm-hmm.
She had one 18-year-old boy. She's been pregnant 3 times her whole life. She has 5 children. She had 2 sets of twins twice. And her baby father tried to molest one of his twins at 16 years old. And now he's in jail, right? And I'm pretty sure she didn't know, meeting him 16 years prior, I'm humping a molester. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we take the risk. So I just wish y'all would approach these platforms and these topics knowing that we take the risk.
So me personally, I'm not, and we on my backup page right now. But me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not someone that co-signs men, especially our black men, being out here, impregnating all these different women, and
Mm-hmm.
not like stepping up, being a man, and taking care of the responsibility. I don't co-sign that at all. But
Right.
I can sit here and say that I don't co-sign that, but at the end of the day, if black women are going to continue to give certain caliber of men access to their bodies and let them have unprotected sex with them and conceive children with them and have children for them, there's nothing I can do about that at the end of the day. And I say that because there's a lot of black women that try to say like, well, like how you're pointing out like where the men are going bad and where the men are going foul. Like I said, I acknowledge that and I don't co-sign it. I don't condone it at all. But at the end of the day, as a man, I can sit here and say that I don't condone that and it's not right. But if as women you guys are going to continue to open your legs for these men and have children for them, it doesn't matter. It's all in vain at the end of the day. So I can't take accountability for those men that I'm not a part of.
I mean, I get it. Do you have a sort of quick summary for like a screening process, a screening process that women can, execute so that they're not entertaining a low caliber of guy?
Um, no, I don't have a
Oh
quick
Lord.
I don't have a quick screening process for men, and I don't have a or sorry, I don't have a quick screening process for women, and I don't have a quick screening process for men either. What I will not recommend women do is be having unprotected sex with men that they don't know, that they don't have any background on, getting pregnant within 60 to 90 days. I would tell them definitely not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell them to actually, get to know a man on whatever level they think that, they need to get to know him on until they're comfortable with him. Um, but I say this at the end of the day, like people, both men and women need to accept like the realities that come with dating.
Mm-hmm.
You need to accept that this representative word that people are going to use. You need to accept people being fake. You need to accept people doing you wrong. Like this is what all comes with dating at the end of the day for both men and women. So if anyone doesn't want to subject themselves to what comes with dating, they just need not to date. If they stay to themselves, they won't have to be subjected to anything that the other, sex could possibly put them through.
Okay.
But if you want to step out here and deal with women, or you want to step out here and deal with men, you need to be prepared for what could possibly come out of that.
Right. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So going back to the stepfather thing. So why, if people make mistakes all over this nation, all over this world, right? Why wouldn't a boy or girl, why would you not want to see them have a step parent when they need to see leadership modeled? Like, wouldn't you want to see more grown up, complete people in this world?
Um, I 100% agree that um children, both boys and girls, that having a father figure, having a male around is very much essential, very much needed, very much important. Um, but for a woman that was out here being sexually irresponsible, I don't think it's a man that, is because the caliber of men that these women be having these children with, when after they get done having the children, they want a man that's the complete opposite of their baby daddy to come in and step up and clean up that mess and take on all that trauma and pain they got, all that baggage they got. And I don't think that it's those men's responsibility to step in and be a father figure to little Keenan and his sister. You know, people people need to make their bed. People need to make their bed and lie in the bed that they made. You know,
Okay, so I, I get that, but like without defaulting to sexual irresponsibility, why shouldn't there be a father in the home? The facts are the father's Chinese, Sudanese, Lebanese, black, whatever. The father's not there, or the mother may not be there. So without defaulting to sexual irresponsibility, they might be dead. They may have congestive heart failure. They might have died from the COVID. You understand me? Like, why do we always got to default to sexual whatever, whatever you spitting? Like, they
be,
could have got shot. They might have
but
overdosed on fentanyl. You understand? Like, come on now.
Miss Jenkins, like the woman said in the video, most of these stepfathers are not stepfathers to divorcees and widows. Okay, like that most of these stepfathers are just for whatever reason, whether it's they just falling hard for the woman or whatever the reason may be. Like that's not the case most of the time. What you just said, like that's like real. That's like really an exception. That's not the reality of what's going on most of the time. Like I said, as a man, men see widows and divorcees in a completely different light than they do women that was just out here getting popped in, you know. So Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, well, that's not what's really going on out here. Like, that's not even what went on with you. You know, you acknowledge that you didn't, you know, you acknowledge that you knew better and you just chose not to do better. And that's what a lot of women are doing. So if you choose not to do better, you need to take the consequences that come with choosing not to do better. It's not Noble or any other man that, you know, is the complete opposite of your baby daddy to like come and, you know, step up and be this real man or be this father figure or this male role model for your child or your kids. I don't agree with that. I personally think that people that have children should date other people that have children.
All right, so let me say this. My son, 5 years old, right?
Yeah.
And we live in Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah.
And right now he's the top reader in his class. He's an excellent reader. About one time a week, there's a shooting here. There's teenagers shooting or adults shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if my son is 5 years old and I don't get a stepfather in the room, living here, pouring into our lives, coaching us, leading us, in 10 years, if we're still living in Southwest DC and my son links up with his peers, what do you think is going to happen? Who's going to influence him most?
His peers would definitely influence him most in that circumstance.
So again, why are you against stepfathers when someone made a mistake?
I'm not against stepfathers in general, Miss Jenkins. I'm just saying, like I said, I think that people that have children should date other people that have children. I think people that are childless should date other childless people. That's what I'm saying. And somebody in the comments said maybe you should have thought of that before you had the child. I
I'm
agree.
not thinking about Rebel. Rebel's an immature man child, and I'm not thinking about none of his comments at all.
Someone said except Hispanic. I don't know what you mean by that. Um, grown people can do what they want. Yeah, grown people can do what they want. Grown people also need to accept the consequences behind the actions that they make.
You keep talking about some consequences. My son's father makes $96,000 a year, lives 2 miles from his son, and chooses not to see him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not about high quality, low quality. It's about the content of your character.
Right. And you didn't take the time to vet that out before you had a child with them though.
Right, but that still doesn't mean he needs to
Yeah,
be
I'm not saying that he's right.
a
I'm not
crappy
putting it
person.
all on you. I'm not putting it all on you at all. But if you would have taken the time to like vet that out, then we wouldn't
Oh
even be
yeah.
having a conversation now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I get it. Well, I thank you for your time, and I like your audience, except for Rebel. Rebel, you can go play somewhere.
Yeah, this the backup page, man. I'm banned on
Mm-hmm.
the main page right now, but you I need you to come on the main page. That's the big page. It's
Okay, we can do that.
the same username without backup behind it.
Okay, bet. Thank you so much. I'm gonna keep watching.
All right, thank you. You have a good night.
All right.
All right.